so we've got a bit of time to drop into the breath first. So find your way onto your sitting block and cross the ankles. You can just find an easy, comfortable seated position. And bring the palms to your lap to start with. So they can be on your knees or your thighs, but let there be a softening of the shoulders, so they're descending down the back. And as you close your eyes, we're going to take the first couple of minutes of this practice to pull the awareness down to the lower body. So as you are breathing, maybe paying particular attention to the feeling of the exhale for your first few rounds and that connection to the earth, that letting go and that grounding effect. As I said, there's a sense of lightness as we breathe in, and then a slight sense of density or weight as we exhale. So feeling into that weight, and as you breathe out, beginning to feel that there's all these contact points that the lower body is making with your props and with the ground. So allow the muscles of the legs to soften even just a little. Feel that the knees are descending towards the ground even if they're not touching. And become aware of the weight that you can feel underneath the sit bones. Maybe it feels like your weight is slightly leaning in one direction. So making any subtle adjustments that you need to feel a little bit more centered with your weight. And if you want to join me here, there's an option to take a slower breath in through the nose and a sighing breath out the mouth. And you can repeat that 3 times. If you're choosing to do that, really feel that as you open the mouth and sigh the breath, there's this dropping of weight down to the lower body. And then if you're working with those sighing breaths, coming back to breathing in and out through the nose after your 3rd round. Keeping the attention on the lower body just for another couple of moments. So a lot of our practice this evening is, as I said, focused on strengthening the lower body and opening the upper body. When we start to work into the hips, this is a space where we can feel a lot of resistance, and it can take a lot of time for the hips to release. But a lot of the release can be helped by taking slightly fuller breaths out. So you keep moving into that heavy feeling, to that earthy quality. So feel into that weight as you take one more exhale, but then start to play with that lightness as you breathe in without losing the connection through the lower body. Begin to feel this rising of energy through your torso, through your chest, through the crown of the head. So maybe we begin to sit a little taller within ourselves. So pay attention to the breath in now for a few rounds, that lightness, that openness, that expansiveness. And our practice is really a play between these two. So a play between earth and air, lightness, heaviness, space, and that contraction that we experience on the exhale to our center. So begin to tap into this sense of feeling balanced from within, feeling balanced by simply noticing that exchange of energy as you inhale and exhale. And really root into this so that as we begin to move into the more dynamic parts of our practice, we've still got this foundation to keep us centered. Softening around your face here. And just taking 3 more breaths, feeling that as you inhale, the heart lifts upwards, the energy rises, and as you exhale, keeping that tallness, keeping that space and openness, let the weight draw down to the earth. So there's this really beautiful, confident posture now. So before we start to move, coming back to our intention, our theme for this month, which is practicing with freedom. So choosing freedom, and that might mean that although some of you have been doing this practice every week, working towards the same pose, it might mean that today we push further or we might step back a little bit. So noticing how the mind might already have kind of strived to perform in a certain way based on your past practices. And if that's happening, try to draw out from that narrative and drop down into connection with your body as it is today, using your breath as the tool to tap into presence and greater awareness. So keeping the eyes closed from here, start to bring the hands together in front of the heart. And if you want to repeat that intention, that mantra, I choose freedom, repeating that in your mind 3 times now, and know that you can always return to that single word of freedom or choice, knowing that we always have a choice at any moment in the practice. And then bowing the head down towards the heart with an exhale. Breathing in, start to draw the arms out and up. And again, keep that heaviness to the lower body as you graze the arms out and up. Take the gaze up. And then as you exhale, soft cactus of the arms. Good. Start to draw the elbows down and then inhale, sweep them back out and up, lift the gaze. Exhale, soft cactus down, and then just continue that movement so elbows graze in towards the lower ribs. 1 more like that. Breathing in, lifting out and up. Keep that weight on the lower body, exhaling. Good. This time breathing in, lift the arms out and up. And as you exhale, you're going to take your left fingertips down to the floor, maybe your left palm, softening through the elbow if you've got that space, and then reaching over to the left with your right fingertips without beginning to lift the weight from your right sit bone. So nice and active as you root into your left palm and reach out through your right fingertips, sending the breath and the awareness into the outer right ribs, and feeling that as you breathe in here, there's a chance to lift the energy up and away from your right hip. So lower ribs are reaching up towards the shoulder space. Taking 1 more breath in here. And then pressing into the left palm, inhale, come through center and gently tip yourself up and over to the other side. Again, left sit bone stays grounded, reaching out through your left fingertips now. Sending and sensing awareness into the outer left ribs. Feel the ribs spreading apart as you inhale, lifting up towards the shoulder. And then root down through your right palm as you exhale, heaviness through the lower body. 1 more breath here, and then we're going to turn it into a flowing movement. So you can take this at your own breath pattern. Inhale through center, reaching up and over, exhaling, extend. Breathe in, start to lift yourself up, and as you exhale, take it up and over. Good, so keep that going. Your eyes can be open here, but really we're dropping into the body. We're not kind of paying much attention to what the eyes can see anymore. We're allowing the body to take center stage. Using your breath as the language now to speak to your internal system, to your internal network. So nice, slow, steady breath, sending lovely, calming messages to your body so that we enter our practice in an open and receptive space rather than a closed off kind of stress state. Next time you come up and over to the left, so right fingertips are reaching, pause here. Some of you might want to just stay as you are, otherwise you can slightly bend your right elbow and then inhale, direct your elbow up and back, so you're opening more through the chest, maybe gaze up. As you exhale, draw your chest towards your thigh and drop the right elbow down. Doesn't need to come all the way to the floor. Inhaling, rotate open. So we're just playing with external rotation on the inhale and internal rotation on the exhale. Soft with your right fingertips. One more like that, those of you that are opening and closing. Exhale, as you come down, right hand to left outer thigh. Left fingertips come behind you, so you're in your seated twist. Keep the head forwards, so no forcing a deeper twist by looking further. Breathe in, try and lift up through your torso. Exhale, drop that weight down through your pelvis. Soft through your jaw and through your right shoulder blade. With your left fingertips rooting behind you, take a breath in and a breath out. Feel that the mid to upper back can mobilize, but your lower back and hips are stable. One more breath in. Exhale. So from here, begin to lean forwards. I know some of you have done this transition with me before. So right shoulder towards the right thigh, left fingertips start to reach up. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, reach your left hand forwards and round your spine, tucking the chin in towards the chest. Inhale again, come up with the left arm, draw down with your right shoulder. Feel this stretch in the side body. Exhale, wrapping the arm, rounding the spine. Breathing in. Exhale, really feeling into the body. Don't worry about how far or deep we're going with the movement. Just send breath into it one more time. Exhale, wrap the arm forwards, tuck the chin. Inhale to extend up. Now from here, start to lift your spine. Take your left fingertips back down behind you. Inhale, right fingertips lift up. And then exhale, take the right fingertips back. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift through the chest, and then maybe the heart comes forwards as well. Option to look up here. So feel the movement of your outer ribs away from one another, the chest cavity lifting at the same time, and then everything pulling in and down as you exhale. Taking one more breath in, and as you take this next exhale, tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale, raise the arms out and up. Exhale, soft cactus of the arms, elbows coming down towards your lower ribs. Breathing in, reach them back up. Good, exhaling, soft cactus. One more, breathe in, lifting. Good, exhale. This time we're going to take it up and over to the right. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, take the right hand down, leaning over with your left fingertips. Stay here for a breath, even if you're going to add on. Keep that weight down through the left sit bone. Maybe soften your left elbow and then inhale, look up and rotate the elbow up and back. Exhale, bringing the chest down towards the thigh. Breathing in, opening again, find the external range. Exhale. One more like that, breathing in and out. As you come down, seated twist, so left hand to outer right thigh, right fingertips come behind you again, keeping the gaze forwards for now. Take a few breaths here and just explore it in your own body this time. So without any cueing from me, maybe it's a moment to close your eyes if that will help. Just notice what the body is doing in this twist, what's moving, where there's space, where there's maybe some tension. And how the energy of the inhale and exhale can kind of change and evolve the position you're in. So it's alive, it's not static. Slowly begin to lean your left shoulder towards your left thigh as the right fingertips reach up. And then as you exhale, bring that hand forwards, really active reach as you pull the chest backwards towards the space behind you and tuck the chin. And then just keep that movement going, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale in. Exhale, tucking the chin as well. Really pull the shoulder blades apart. One more, lifting the arm up as you breathe in. Curling and wrapping that arm as you breathe out. Now start to lift the arm again, lower the shoulder towards the thigh. And as your spine comes up, right fingertips land first. And then the left arm sweeps up and over like a rainbow and then lands behind you as well. So a couple of breaths here. Some of you might want to stay with your sit bones on the floor. Some of you might want to lift your sit bones and press the hips forwards towards the front of your mat. So taking that all the way up into the front of the body. Good, one more breath wherever you are. If you've lifted on an exhale coming down, tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale one last time, reach the arms out and up. And then exhale, bring the hands back to the heart center, palms together. Good, if you're on a block, removing the block. And then just have your strap and your book up near the front of your mat. So from our crossed ankles, we're going to lean ourselves back, hug the knees into the chest, uncross the ankles, squeeze the inner legs together, flex the feet. Maybe the hands are supporting you, maybe the hands are beside you, energy reaching through the fingertips, lifting through the heart center, and maybe some of you are extending your legs, taking the gaze towards the big toes. Now keep breathing. Any shaking in the legs, just soften through the knees. Any shaking in the back, try and lift through the heart space. Taking in one more breath. As you exhale, place the feet down on the mat. Take the hands out by the hips. Press into your hands, press into your feet to lift up. Draw the knees over the ankles and then press into the feet again to lift the hips higher into your reverse tabletop. So as always, you've got two options here. Exhale, come all the way down, bum touches the mat, or send your sit bones back, coming to your hover. Inhale two, place the feet, lift the hips. Keep working with your breath. Exhale, your choice. Inhaling, swinging up. Using that exhale to send the weight back if you're staying at a hover. Last one like that. Inhale, lift. Exhaling. Good, this time inhale, come up. Exhale, hands walk towards the feet. Allow your heels to lift. Fingertips come ahead of the toes. Lower your heels and fold your chest. Uttanasana, relax the head. So take a moment here in your first forward fold to hold the elbows perhaps and just give a bit more weight through the torso. Maybe releasing through the neck here, turning the chin slowly from side to side. And then perhaps saying yes with the head a couple of times, so bringing the chin in and away from your throat. Take a big bend into your knees from here, let go of the elbows. Inhale, circle the arms out and up, so coming to stand. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Good. So we're going to work with our book here. As I said, I'm not taking credit for this lovely shoulder mobilizer. This is all Naomi. So we're going to work with the book in our right hand to start with. Just make sure you're not gripping the book with your fingertips. You want your palm flat on your book. I think a couple of you did this with me last week or on Monday or something. I don't know what day it was. So we're going to have a bit of buoyancy in our knees. Feet are about hip distance apart. You might want them slightly wider for a bit more kind of sway and movement. First of all, if you're new to this, Jodie, I know you were there. If you want to just go for it, feel free. You're just going to play with taking the book in this kind of semicircle. So it's starting in front of you, drawing in towards your hip, and then coming out beside you. So as you're moving, bring the attention, all of the awareness into what's happening with your right shoulder. So like we did when we were doing that side stretching, as the book comes out in front of you and then rotates in, we're swapping between our internal and external rotation. As the shoulder head collapses, we're in internal rotation. As it draws down and back, external. Okay, and then when you feel confident with that, what you want to try and start exploring is turning the book around like you've been doing, but then taking it forwards over the head and around. So you have to start using your legs, really, really warming up our shoulder for the practice. And this is where you want to remind yourself that we're practicing freedom and, you know, feeling an expression over perfection. So there's that child within us that just loves to play, and doesn't really matter if the book falls because it's enjoying the feeling of play. And then there's the adult and the mind that want a particular outcome perhaps. So just try to stay with your childlike curiosity and with your breath. Remember to use your legs. Don't isolate the movement just into your shoulder. Let the legs assist. So we're not locking out. And then maybe you want to play with the movement in the other direction if you're happy with that. So you start with the book in your internal rotation, take it out, swing behind the head, and then come forwards from the left rather than around and then to the left. So just see how it feels to go in the other direction a couple of times. You should start to feel that you're warming up quite quickly, even though it's not that traditional. And if you want to, just come back to that small movement. Good. So we'll just take one more. As the book comes forwards, swap it into the left hand, and again, just play, notice, is my mobility kind of a smaller range on this side, or does it feel a bit more open? So for me, this is a tighter shoulder. Keep breathing. Notice if the breath kind of stops at any point or is shallowing out. And then when you're ready to, again, you can play with finding your way into a bigger movement, however that looks. So really bring the focus into your left shoulder now, drawing a couple more circles in this direction. Good, and then maybe exploring, taking it in the other direction. It's a real kind of mind-body wake up. So what are we trying to do? How do we do it? Good. Maybe just a couple more, whichever direction you're going. Lovely, we'll take one more, and then as that book comes in front of you, release the book. Shoulders should be feeling a bit more open now. As we breathe in, bring the feet to hip distance apart, send your arms up, lift your heels up. And as you exhale, bend your knees, place the feet and swing the arms back and overhead. Inhale, bend the knees, draw the arms forwards and up, lift your toes, lift through the arms. Exhale, lower the feet, bend the knees, swing the arms over and up. Good, breathing in. Exhaling. So you can press play if you haven't already on your playlist. Inhale, up. Exhaling. And then just turn this into a bigger movement. So keep your feet on the mat now and inhale, lift. Exhale, throw the arms. So just finding a bit of buoyancy. Breathing in. And as you exhale, throwing the arms down. So just really getting that freedom in the body going before we get into more of a traditional sequence. And as always, if you've got any kind of stress that you've been holding onto, you can always throw that with an exhale out the mouth. We'll take 3 more, however you're choosing to play with this. And then once you've done 3 more rounds, inhale, send the arms up, come up strong. Exhale, bring that energy to the heart, close your eyes, breathing in. If you need to, open the mouth. Breathing in, one more breath here. Open the eyes. Inhale, send the arms out and up. Again, lift onto your toes. As you exhale, bending the knees, placing the heels, fold forwards, take the hands overhead, but this time interlace the fingers. Draw the knuckles up, and then let the chest come forwards. So bending the knees if you need to, or extending your legs. Taking 3 breaths. Chin slightly tucking in towards the chest. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together on the back. One more breath in. As you take this exhale, bend deeply into your knees. Lower your knuckles towards your lower back. And then inhale, swing the arms forwards. Exhaling to fold. Your halfway lift, fingertips to the earth or hands to the shins. Good. Exhale, bend your knees, place your palms, step your feet into plank. Take a breath in your plank position and then exhale, lower the knees, bring the chest towards the thighs. Inhale, hands slide backwards, up onto your knees, up onto your thighs. Take the fingertips behind you. Keep the left foot where it is and step your right foot forwards. And then bring your hips up, taking your sit bones away from your left heel. So feel that in the front of the left hip. Breathing in. Exhale. One more breath. Good. Exhale, start to draw the hips down. Send your right knee to the floor and then step your left foot forwards. Breathe in, lift your hips. Sit bone away from the heel. Chin slightly tucking in towards the chest. Draw those hips forwards. One more breath in. Exhale, begin to lower, sending your left knee down to the floor, and then inhale, bring both hips forwards. Breathing in, keep rooting into your fingertips. Good, exhale, come down. Draw the chest forwards towards the thighs, sweep the arms out beside you and then to the front of the mat. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Begin to point your toes, lift your shins, draw your hips towards the earth and bring your chest forwards. Shoulders are down the back here, so really press into the floor. Good, exhale, look back, tuck the toes, chest to the thighs. Two more like that. Inhale, rounding slightly as you come forwards. Lift your shins, point your toes, pelvis towards the earth, chest through the arms. And as you breathe out, take it back. One more. Breathing in. Good. Exhale, take it back. This time, inhale. Come forwards as you have been doing. Lift your shins, point your toes, bring the heart forwards. Exhale, tuck the toes, pressing back. As the toes land, begin to lift your knees, downward facing dog. So allow yourself to move here for this first downward dog. So you can pedal your feet. Good. Remember to move in time with your breath. Keeping the ears in line with your upper arms so that the head's not drawing too far back. Good. And then those of you that are moving, just bring yourself back to stillness. Draw both heels towards the earth. Exhale. Inhale, bringing the feet together. Exhale, try and draw the heels towards the earth. Inhale, left heel stays where it is, right toes lift up. As you lift your right leg, can you draw your left heel towards the earth? Now pick up your left heel, look forwards, and bring the right knee towards the chest. Stay here for a moment. Take a breath in and a breath out. Slow and controlled, lift the leg again. Draw that left heel to the earth. Take your breath in. Exhale, begin to pick up the left heel and draw the right knee over to the left upper arm. Again, pause here. Try not to press the knee to the arm, just hover it there. Inhale, slow, lift up, draw that left heel down. Exhale, lift the heel, bring the knee to the outer right upper arm. Pause, and then step your foot to the outer hand. Back knee comes down, so left knee's to the earth. Lift your fingertips, breathe in, chest pulls forward, so we find a back bend, take the gaze up. And as you do this, can we allow the left hip to descend? Now as you exhale, round your spine, so you begin to extend your right leg. So we find a rounded position. And then inhale, come forwards again. So rebend into the right knee, lower through your left hip, lift through your chest and your gaze. Good, exhale and pull back. One more like that, breathing in. Lower that left hip and exhale. Inhale, come forwards. Good, lift the back knee, and as you exhale, step left foot to outer left hand. Come down into your squat and just take a little bit of movement here. So you can allow the heels to lift one at a time, swaying through the hips. Come to center, drawing both heels to or towards the earth. Press the knees out with your elbows and press the elbows in with your knees. Good, take one more breath. As you exhale, root into your feet, standing up, pressing down, rising up with your fingertips, heel toe the feet towards one another. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, release the hands, inhale, lift your toes, float the arms up. Exhale, lower the heels, swing the arms over. Inhale, lift your toes. Exhale, breathing in. So don't worry if you wobble as you come to your toes. Exhale. And now, keep the feet on the floor, and again, just take a few rounds of lifting and dropping the arms. So if you need to, take that sign breath. I did this on Wednesday morning, and then I remembered how good it feels, so now it's just in all of my classes. We'll take one more. So next time you rise up, energy shoots up through the fingertips, standing with confidence, exhaling, hands to the heart. Close your eyes, take a full breath, and maybe a sighing breath. Breathing in. Exhaling. Release the hands, inhale, lift your toes, arms extend up. Exhale, lower the heels, fold your chest forwards. Now interlace with your other thumb on top, so your non-dominant grip. Remember, the knees can stay bent here. Prioritize your shoulders more than your hamstrings. And then if you want to, begin to fold a little bit deeper, relax the head. This is always a good place to take a few sighing breaths as well, just feeling that density, that heaviness, that gravitational pull as you release your breath. One more inhale, so start to bend your knees with your next exhale, knuckles lower down towards the tailbone, and then hands swing forwards. Breathing in, exhaling to fold. Take a halfway lift. Bend the knees as much as you need to, place your palms, come into your plank position, breathing in, and then lower your knees under your hips, breathing out. So you'll probably need to roll onto the tops of the feet slightly. Good, so we're going to keep our left knee on the mat. You can have your toes tucked for a bit more stability. The right heel's going to lift, pressing it up towards the ceiling without arching your lower back. So draw your front ribs in. Draw the right knee out towards the right, forwards, and then in. And just repeat that a couple of times. So as you're doing this, try not to shift your weight over to your left hand. Keep hugging the inner arms together, so we're not leaning to one side. Next time that right heel presses up, pause, reach back through the leg so it extends, and then take it to the back of your mat. Good. Pressing out through the heel of the foot. Inhale, lift your left knee, and then exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Breathing in. Exhale. Inhale, lift both heels up nice and high. As you exhale, turn your heels to the left, toes to the right. Bend your left knee, but try to draw your right heel to the floor, so left heel can lift. Swing your left knee towards the back right-hand corner of the mat and keep pressing into your right palm. If you want a little bit more, come up onto your right fingertips and walk them forwards. You're really opening through the right side body. If you're on your fingertips, lower to the palm. Everybody inhale through to your plank position. Exhale, knees to the floor. Good, this time lifting the left heel up, breathe in. Take the knee out, forwards and into the chest. As slowly as you need to. Really have that mind-body connection. So taking a couple more, roughly the same number as you did on the right. Stable through the rest of the body. So this is an isolated movement. And then as you inhale, press that heel up, kick it back, take it to the floor, And then draw the right knee in towards the chest and step it back. Take a breath in and a breath out. So this time, inhale, both heels lift. Exhale, heels to the right, toes to the left. Try to keep your left heel on the mat this time, but allow the right knee and right heel to lift. And draw your right knee towards the back left-hand corner of the mat, pressing into your left palm, maybe coming up onto your left fingertips and walking them away. So breathing into that side body. Prioritize your breath. Remember your choices. Inhale forwards to plank. Exhale back, downward facing dog. So bring the feet together again as you breathe in, left toes extend. Try to draw the right heel down. Keep hugging your front ribs in so you're not collapsing your chest. Lift your right heel, look forwards. Exhale, bring the knee to the center, in towards the chest. Good, hold it here. Keep pressing the earth away. Inhale, lift up. Slow, controlled movement. Exhale, bring it forwards, crossing it over to the right. Try and be as high up as you can. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, take it to the outer left upper arm as high as you can. Hold it here for one more breath. And then step it down. Press back through the right heel for a moment and then take the right knee to the mat. So we're up on our fingertips. Breathe in, find your cat-cow movement. So heart forwards, right hip towards the earth. Exhale, pull back. Left knee moves back in space with you. Inhaling forwards. Exhaling. Again, coming through with your chest as you breathe in. Moving it back as you breathe out. Come to center, inhale. Coming down onto your palms, perhaps, or staying on your fingertips. Lift that back knee, and again, step it into your Malasana squat. Just staying here for a few breaths. So this is a really beautiful pose to feel that lightness through the heart, through the torso as we breathe in, and that density, that earth coming down to the tailbone as we breathe out. So try to ride that wave of energy. Heart lifting and pulling forwards as we breathe in, weight descending as we breathe out. One more breath. Good, this time as we exhale, fingertips come down, toes turn in, heels turn out. So you're in a wide forward fold. If you need to just give the body a little sway for a moment, feel free. And then from here, come to your halfway lift, inhale. Bend your knees, place your palms. Step it or jump it back, your choice. So you can go through chaturanga if that's in your practice, or lower knees, and then chest. Breathing in, come to your cobra or your upward facing dog. Good, and then as you exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. So similar to what we just did, bring the feet together. Inhale, lift your right toes up. Press that left heel down. Exhale, begin to lift your left heel. So you give yourself more space between the body and the ground. Bring the right knee to the chest. Inhale, take it back up. Keep it slow and controlled with your breath. Exhale, cross it over. Now this time, pause here. Kick your right leg over to the left. Flex the foot. Press your right hand down. Lift your left arm and turn your left toes to the long edge. Take a breath in here. Exhale. If you're feeling like you're really energetic today, see if you can pick up that right leg. 2 more breaths. It's really fun talking and doing this stuff. I don't normally demo the whole class, do I? Okay, so left hand comes down, bring the right knee back into the chest, out to the right, and then step that foot back into your lizard. Ooh, left knee comes down. Untuck your left toes. Just once this time, inhale, bring the chest through the upper arms. Pause here. Take a deep breath in. And then if you want to, a sighing exhale. So some of you may stay here. Some of you might come onto your palms now. Some of you might, from your palms, just walk the hands away. So you're bringing your chest closer to the earth. Some of you might have the space to be on your forearms here. So wherever you're choosing to be, but particularly if you're coming down quite low, try to keep drawing this knee in to the body. So it's not just collapsing the weight to the outer edge of the foot. Knee is slightly hugging in and heel is pulling back. So there's real activation in your inner leg. Good. Try not to collapse your head. You can look down, but look more down rather than backwards. So the chin stays, the neck stays in line with the spine. Good, now from this position, we're gonna take a twist. So you can try this on your forearms. If it's too strong, just come up. Left forearm comes parallel with the top edge of the mat. We're gonna rotate our left ribs towards the earth, rotate our right ribs towards the sky. And then bring your right hand to the inner right thigh. And gently press the flesh of the thigh away from you. Now here you can roll to the outer edge of the foot and make sure you're flexing your toes. So lean your heart back, press your thigh away. Take another few breaths. One more deep breath in. Exhaling. Slowly begin to unspiral, so your chest comes down again. Place the foot, lift up onto your palms. Tuck the left toes under. Good, and then just rotate yourself to the long edge of your mat. Bend through your knees, turn your heels in, your toes out, and come up into your goddess. So bring your hands onto your thighs, lift your shoulders up towards your ears, and press down on your legs. This is a bit of a killer. And then just again, you can bring a bit of movement in here. So things to be careful of here, don't worry if you're higher. That cat's come to see me again. Every class I teach. Stay up higher if it means that your knees are staying in line with your ankles. If you're coming down low but the knees are collapsing, there's no point being there. Just take a little rock, one more, side to side, and then come to center. Release the hands, but keep the legs. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, turn the toes in and fold yourself forwards. Inhale, rise to the fingertips, extend through your heart. Exhaling to fold. One more like that, inhaling. Good, exhale, forward, fold, head heavy. Good, this time inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, you're going to turn your right toes to face the long edge of the mat and start to bend into that knee. Come up into your warrior two. Good. Take a breath in. Like I said last week, I did that class actually the other day with Tom and I talked for too long. That was a very, very long warrior two. But we are going to be here for a good few breaths. So hug your feet towards one another. Feel the inner thighs really engage and use that inward energy to draw up. So get a sense of lifting out through the crown of the head whilst being so strong in your lower body. Take a breath in, spin your right palm up to the ceiling, and without using your hands, the left hand grazes forwards in front of your chest, taking this variation of reverse warrior. Inhale, come through warrior two, and now hand comes in front of the chest again as your left arm reaches. Inhale. Exhale. Use the movement as a bit of a distraction. One more. Inhale and exhale. Good. From here, look down, lift your left toes, spin them to face forwards, place your left hand and reach the right arm up. Exhale, taking the right hand to the inside of your right foot. So the right foot is outside of your hand. Heel toe the right foot slightly to the edge of the mat. Lift your right heel, squeeze the knee and the upper arm together, and then pick up your right toes. Take the knee behind the wrist. So you're coming down towards your pigeon prep. And then let your left knee land and untuck the left toes. Good, so practice coming up to your fingertips. So we're light with the weight on the earth. Right knee is hugging back in space. You should feel the muscles really working. And then see if you can lift your hands and stay lifted. So really, really working the legs here. Keeping the hands forwards, palms facing up, shoulders down the back. Taking one more breath in here. And then as you exhale, begin to bring the chest forwards and extend your arms so you can come down towards the floor. Try to prioritize lengthen your spine rather than chest to the earth. Crown of the head is extending forwards. Taking in 2 more breaths. One more here. And then breathe in, press into your palms so your elbows lift. Start to walk the hands back towards your knee. Tuck the left toes under, lift the knee. Roll forwards onto the top of the foot so your shoulders are over your wrist. Retuck the left toes. Press that right knee back up towards your chest. And then as you open up into your downward dog, flex your right foot and press the heel of the foot over to the left. Try not to collapse your left shoulder. Keep lifting through that left side. And then draw one big circle with your right knee. So knee towards the stomach, like we did in tabletop. Out towards the right, up, and then over to the left. Slowly step the right foot down to the mat. Take a breath in. And a sighing breath. Breathing in. Exhale. Step those feet together. Lifting through your left leg this time as you inhale. Taking the heel up, bringing the knee forwards towards the chest. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lift up. Exhaling, take it across the body. Kick that leg off of the mat. Press into your left palm, and as your right hand lifts, rotate your right toes out. Again, you can stay with the foot on the floor or lift that leg, really working your core. Breathing. One more breath. And then exhale, as that right hand lands, take the left knee to the outer left arm and then step it onto the mat. Back knee comes down to the floor. Good. And then same thing here. Just take a moment to bring the chest forward, draw the shoulder blades down. Good, steady your breath. And then you can maybe draw to your palms, maybe walk the palms forwards, or maybe come down to your forearms. Think about a long spine here. So if your forearms aren't able to get to the mat without you collapsing, or without you rounding your spine, and closing off the chest, you can place them on your block, or you can just pad the hands forwards so the chest is still lowering, but it's forcing your spine to stay straight at the same time. So from here, we're going to take our twist. So you can try this on your forearms again, bring the right forearm parallel if you're doing that, and then rotate the right ribs down, left ribs up, and maybe you flex your foot and come onto the outer edge, bringing the left hand to the thigh, and gently pressing the thigh away as you lean back as well. Making sure that you're on your thigh, on flesh and muscle, rather than on your knee. Taking 2 more breaths. And really pay attention how the breath adapts throughout the practice. So of course, as we work harder, we'll breathe slightly more differently, but if you keep bringing breath awareness into the practice, we can stay more calm and steady even as we challenge ourselves physically. Begin to unravel from this twist. So tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and then lift onto the ball of the foot. Draw the toes in, and then slide that knee down. Back knee lands, toes can be tucked or untucked here again. Hug the hip back as you lift your hands. So it might feel slightly easier on this side, doing it before the warrior 2. So just notice, if this is the weaker side, though, it might still feel quite strong. But this is preparing us for our kind of mermaid. And then begin to lean the torso forwards. So we're still working our core, we're not just collapsing. And then the hands softly land. Spine is still extending, heart reaching, chin coming into the throat rather than collapsing down to the mat. So the spine and the neck are all in one line. Top of the right foot is actively rooting down. Steady through your breath. Good, rising up onto your palms if you went lower, walking the hands in towards you, tucking the back toes, lifting that back knee, rolling forward, shoulders over wrists, reach up the toes. Now draw the left knee up, step it in between the hands and come around to the long edge of your mat. So this time as you breathe in, open the arms out beside you. Exhale, interlace the hands. Draw the shoulder blades together and then let the weight of the chest and the arms draw down. Relax through your head. Maybe taking a big breath in through the nose here and a sighing breath out. Be kind to your hamstrings. Try here not to suddenly force the body to do anything in particular. Just open up to where the body is ready to be today. Softening as you exhale. Breathing in, begin to lift your chest. So knuckles come down towards your lower back like we did at the start. And then bring the fingertips to the floor. Lengthen the heart away from the hips. Take a breath in. And then turn your left toes forwards. Bend into the left knee. Pause here for a moment. Ground into the outer right foot. And then open it up into your warrior two. Good. So here, hug the feet together. And that's a cue that it took me maybe until about a month ago to really feel it in my body. It's a lot of inner leg strength. You should feel this kind of homing in of energy towards the pelvis. Inner legs, strong, and then that can rise up. So there's this lifting of the lower ribs without flaring them forwards. Reverse your warrior, bringing your right forearm in front of your chest and your ribs. Breathing into the side body. Inhaling through center, and then exhale, reaching up and over. One more like that, breathing in. Legs are still and stable, mobile through the upper body. Inhale and exhale. Good, so look down, lift your back heel so the toes can face forwards. Place your right palm, inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, take the left hand to the inside of the left foot. If you need to heel toe your foot off slightly, please do. Lift the heel up, magnetize knee and upper arm, lift the toes, and then take it into your three-legged dog, opening your hips, sending the heel up and over to the right-hand side, and then lifting through the right shoulder. Take a breath here. Exhaling, lower your left toes, lower your knees, untuck the toes, and then just bring the chest back between the thighs for a few breaths. So this can just be a moment to really settle. The elbows can be on the mat. Just be soft and calm with your breath. Just taking a couple more rounds. Allow the weight of the chest to fall forwards as you let the breath go. And then start to bring your gaze up towards your hands. Bring your shoulders forwards over your wrists. And like we did at the start, lift your shins, point your toes, and bring your chest through the upper arms. Exhale, look backwards. Let the toes tuck and land, and then return into your downward facing dog. So really use the warmth of your body to start pressing energy down and forwards through your hands. Core is integrated in down dog, so front ribs are drawing in, spine is nice and long, lifting energy up, and then it falls back down your legs, down to the heels and back. Feet come together. Inhale, lift the right toes. Last time with this transition on the right side. Pick up your left heel, and then as you exhale, we'll just go straight to the right upper arm with the knee. Slide that knee down behind your wrist, and then come into your pigeon again. So test it out once more. Lift onto your fingertips to start with, and then lift the hands. So if this is really challenging, think about hugging. So rather than just allow it, because I can just hang out here, the hips open, you can just be really relaxed. Think about drawing away from the earth. So hug those two legs together like we did in our warrior two. Feel that energy drawing in and then let it rise up. So we're going to stay here this time. This might be where you are kind of at your edge already. Just keep the chest open by spinning the palms out with the palms facing the ceiling. If you want to work a little bit more strongly without turning your torso, use your active range to tuck the left toes and then maybe lift them so your heel is drawing in towards your sit bone. I'm not turning my torso though. And then maybe the left hand reaches back for the foot. So here your right fingertips might come down to the floor to support you. If this feels like enough, with your right fingertips on the floor, you might slightly kick the foot back so you get a bit more of an opening in the heart. Otherwise, draw the heel in and see if you can hook it to the inner crease of your elbow. Keep drawing in and up through your legs. Maybe the right hand comes forwards, lifts up, whoa. There's a bird. And then bind with your fingertips. Okay, so I'm going to get off my mat here just to have a little look. You can also work with a strap if you want to. Nice. Good, Tom. Yeah, so Bex, yeah, lovely. Keep thinking of drawing in and up, in and up, in and up. Good, Laura. It's tiring stuff, this. Nice. Good, Jodie. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Nice, Rose. Yeah, lovely, Emma. Really graceful. Okay, slowly wherever you are, begin to release out of that. So let the back toes tuck as the knee comes down. And then just begin to roll onto your right hip and swing the left leg over. Good. Take an inhale, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, bend your right elbow. Take the hand onto the elbow and then just begin to draw back in space. So just take a few breaths in, nice and simple. Like we did at the beginning, let that weight plummet. Every breath out, soften around your glutes. Connect to the earth. Just one more breath. And then as you exhale, releasing, take your fingertips down behind you, draw the shoulder blades together, tuck the chin towards the chest. Just feeling into that beautiful rise and fall of the chest cavity with your breath. Keep relaxing the lower body. Softening your jaw, that grip, that pressure. Last breath in here. And then begin to lift the chin as you inhale. Take the hands over to the right hand side and just rotate yourself so you're facing the back of the mat. Walk the hands away from the feet, coming back into your downward facing dog. So we're just going to repeat that on the left hand side now. So bring the feet together. As you breathe in, let your left toes extend, drawing that right heel down if you can. And then pick up the right heel and bring your knee towards your left upper arm. Slide the knee down behind the wrist. And then the trick here, for the purposes of today, is to not really slide that back leg down, because then we're really just collapsing to the earth. So keep the knee a bit closer to the heel. So we're light on the fingertips to start with, and then maybe we play with lifting the hands. Maybe the palms rotate out so that we feel this breath across the chest. And before we rush anywhere, just feel into this. So feel that hugging in, drawing energy up then, and keep trying to lift your lower ribs and integrate your core. If you want to go further, you can tuck the back toes, see how that feels. And then maybe without twisting, lift and draw the heel in. Maybe we reach back for the foot, left fingertips can be down on your mat if you just want to enjoy that opening in the chest, but try not to turn your chest to the to the right, keep it facing forwards. And then some of you might have a little play again with your mermaid. Yeah, nice. Every time I say nice to someone that I'm looking at, they stumble. Enjoy wobbling, enjoy it. Don't be too fixed on perfection. Find that freedom, find that exploration. Nice, Tom. Good. Yeah, lovely, Jodie. Let's take one more breath. Gradually coming out from wherever you were playing. And then same transition. So as you take your toes to the mat, tuck them, and then just roll over onto your left hip and swing that right leg all the way around so that it's just to the outer thigh. Feel grounded through your sit bones. Inhale, draw the arms up without lifting the weight up, and this time left elbow bends, taking the hand onto the elbow, and then slightly drawing it back in space. Breathing, but focusing on that exhale, that connection downwards. Feel that lift of the chest with every inhale, that weight to the earth with every exhale. And then bring your hands behind you, draw the chin to the chest, take 3 more breaths. So in your own time, once you've taken that 3rd breath, like we did before, bring the fingertips towards your front foot, and then you'll turn to face the front of the mat again. Walk the hands forward, step the feet back. Last downward facing dog here. Just enjoy any additional space that you feel in your body. Maybe there's more strength, more connection to your power to really press the earth down and away. Really draw those front ribs in so we're nice and long in the spine without a collapsing chest. And then draw those heels back and down. We're taking 1 more breath here. As you exhale, bend your knees deeply, look forwards, jumping or coming through to sitting, however you want, crossing the ankles rather than straightening the legs. And then keep the ankles crossed, send your weight backwards, uncross the ankles, come back into your boat pose so you can have the legs bending, hands to the thighs, arms beside you, or straight legs. Oh, in fact, let's do that fun transition from last week. So bend the knees a bit so that you can bind with your big toes. And then if you can, extend the legs, but you can just keep the knees bending in towards your elbows. So nice and tall through your spine. Breathe, find that balance on your sit bones. Keep the heart lifted. We've already gone into it, but we'll go into it a little bit deeper. So let's keep hold of the right toe, release the left one, and cross your left heel in towards your right sit bone, and then take your right foot over against the outer left thigh. Okay, so this time we'll lift the left arm up, root down through the right fingertips, and then cross the elbow to the outer thigh, or if that feels too strong, just wrap your hand around your thigh. If you have the bind and you want to go there, feel free to, but we're starting to ease the practice, so just going wherever you feel is appropriate. And now as we're warmer, maybe you want to take the chin around to the back of the mat, but close your eyes. Don't feel that your gaze is taking you any further. Draw that focus into your body, feel the inhale spread your ribs, and then let the exhale as the ribs contract, find a bit more mobility. So your left ribs are creeping forwards and your right ribs are moving back in space. Keep drawing that weight down to your sit bones. Let the left thigh draw towards the earth. Right big toe root down to the earth. 1 more breath. So bring the gaze forwards as you inhale. And then here's the fun part. So we're going to take our big toe with our right fingertips around the right big toe. Begin to extend that leg. Take the left fingertips around the left big toe and then extend your left leg. Take a couple of breaths. Soften the jaw. So try not to be too serious with what you're doing. I feel like that's what happens when we're clenching the jaw. We want it so bad, but just relax. And this time, other side. So let the right foot go. Draw the heel in towards the left, and then take your right foot over, left foot, sorry, over to the right. So on this side, the left fingertips come behind you. Try and stay on the fingertips, just so you've got a nice tall spine. Reach really high through the right arm, and then hook the elbow, or maybe just wrap the hand, your choice. Your gaze can stay forwards if that feels more suitable. Otherwise, maybe turning the chin, but perhaps closing the eyes. First couple of breaths, perhaps focus on the exhale and that weight through the hips and the sit bones, and then begin to feel into your ribs and the upper back where you can mobilize. So always wanting to stabilize the hips and the lower back, but mobilize the mid and upper back. Which is why I'm so, I talk so much about that pulling in action in our lunges and everything. So yes, we do maybe want to create a bit more space around the hips, but the hips do need to carry our upper body. So it can't just be open without also being stable. Come back to center with your next inhale. And then if you've got it in you, we'll take that transition one last time. So you're going to go for your left big toe first this time. Lean back slightly as you send it forwards, and then look and grab that right big toe and draw the heel forwards. Taking a breath in and a breath out. One more. Slowly begin to bend your knees and let the feet land on the mat. Bring the hands behind you, step the feet slightly ahead of you, and then just lift that up into your reverse tabletop. Maybe there's a bit more space now to rise higher with the hips and the heart. If you really want to go for it, you can obviously take the straight leg variation, but you might feel like this class was strong enough. Wherever you are, let's take 2 more breaths together. Keep those legs active, keep the hands and the shoulders active. Last breath in, and then exhale, bring it down. Draw the chest to the thighs, give yourself a hug. Round your spine now as you hug in towards your chest and in towards your thighs, and take hold of opposite elbows or upper arms. Let the head go heavy, drawing in. And let this shape really symbolize that we are taking our energy inwards, folding in, calming down, getting acquainted again with the energy of breathing out, with the energy of the earth. Sense into the upper back and the mid back as you breathe in, and let there be a bit of weight, perhaps falling through the chest as you breathe out. And then from here, finding your way down onto your back. So you can extend your arms. Make sure you look to your belly button so there's no tension on your neck. And then as you get there, let your right knee draw in towards you. Kick your left heel forward. So flex that foot, keep it nice and active. Pull the thighs close to you as you can. And then lift your forehead up towards your knee. Feel that lovely lengthening of the spine. Lower your shoulders and your head. Bring the left knee in. Send the right heel forwards. Flex that foot. Pull the thigh closer if you can, and then lift the forehead up to the knee. Take in one more breath, and with that next exhale, lower the shoulders and the head. Extend that left leg out. Make sure the feet are at least hip distance apart, maybe even go wider, mat distance, or even wider still. So you get this big release through your lower back. Place the hands onto the stomach, so you can have one hand to the lower abdomen and the other hand just above it. Close your eyes now, or if you want any props that you haven't got, feel free to take a moment to grab those. Moving slowly so that you don't disturb your energy too much. And as we did at the beginning, really pay attention to the contact points that your body has with the earth now, the whole back of the body. And just by bringing awareness to these spaces that you can feel, connecting to your mat and connecting to the ground beneath your mat, let that shed light and let that be enough. So there's no kind of active doing that's going on. Simply notice, perceive what's happening, perceive that contact, feel it, sense the texture of it, and the texture of your mat versus the ground that you can feel beneath your mat. Maybe you are on a carpet, maybe you've got a wooden floor beneath you. And then sense and understand that there's infinite layers of earth beneath your ground, also holding you here, ready to take your weight. Begin to soften it and let it go towards the earth. Feeling more freedom within you now. Perhaps a little bit more space and ease. Maybe with each exhale, those contact points with the ground just settle a little bit more. Less effort, more ease in the body. And that's the beauty of a stronger practice, as I was saying last week, the effort and kind of physical demand that we put on our body mindfully with our breath then gets released into that much rest. So feeling all the muscles beginning to relax, and as that heat settles and cools, just dropping into your version of Shavasana this evening. Maybe the hands stay where they are, nurtured by your touch. Maybe you want to extend the arms. And as you come into Shavasana, staying open and receptive to what truly is. Noticing if the mind ever pulls you back into storylines from your past or tries to predict the future. As you become aware of that, landing back in the reality and the freedom in this moment now. Notice if any part of the body has begun to engage or tighten, to restrict in any way, simply out of habit. And as you take your next breath, begin to relax back into the freedom in being here and now. Become aware of the contact that the back of the body is making with the earth. And continue to settle your weight down. We'll just take a final few moments of rest and of total presence, where your awareness isn't fixated on one thing or narrowed and obsessing or attaching, but it's open and expansive. Less labeling being added to what your awareness notices. So begin to feel into the body again as you breathe, without forcing the breath to change. Just start to sense into the space within you as you inhale. That more light, energizing part of our breath. But continue to give your weight down as you exhale, relaxing and releasing. So again, coming back into this beautiful sense of being balanced simply by your breath. Maybe now turning your focus onto the inhale so that you can begin to uplift your energy. And perhaps this evening it does feel good and natural to take a big deep breath in. So if you feel like doing that, of course, it's your choice, it's your body. You can go for that. I think sometimes it's just important to be aware that we're not kind of suddenly taking a big sharp intake of breath and kind of spiking ourselves back into that fight and flight mode. Wriggle your fingers and your toes when you're ready to, waking the body up kindly. And then either take a full body stretch, drawing the arms and the legs away from one another as you breathe in and enjoying all that space, or simply bring the knees straight into the chest with an exhale. Rolling over to one side when you feel ready to. Take a moment resting there, so not rushing the last couple of parts of the practice. Staying present and connected. And then with the help of your hands, return to sit in any comfortable position, and you can place the palms down again onto your knees to stay more grounded with your energy this evening. Send the palms up if you feel like you need to lift the energy, or you're just feeling more open, more kind of expanded through the practice. Take a final breath in and out. And then bring the palms together, draw the chin towards the heart space as you release from the practice. See if you can take some of this presence, some of this ease into the rest of your evening. Thank you. Well done, everybody.